Welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's January 22nd, 2025, and it's Wednesday. So that means that it is Discord Day. We'll be having a discussion today after the markets closed and after Greg's live at about 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So we would love to have you in there. We discuss not only finance, but also a lot of other things that we kind of have to tiptoe around here that affect us in the larger picture. We got quite a few interesting things that we discuss, so feel free to join us. If you don't have a link yet or have any trouble getting in, please leave a comment below. I read them all and we'll get you in there. At least I read all the ones that YT publishes and allows me to see. So with this, with quite a few things happen even since yesterday. One of them was Netflix earnings, and they skyrocketed after hours, and United Airlines as well. But with this, let's get started, as always, with our favorite risk indicator, the MMRI. Now, this pulled back slightly from yesterday, was above 308. And this is because the relative strength of the dollar 10-year yield, if you've been here a while, you know how these work. Both of these pulled back slightly, and that kind of dropped that risk level. Now, still above the extreme peg of 300, but it is decreasing a bit. And what is the result of this is that more resources pouring into risk on assets. So heading more towards this greed in the fear greed gauge, heading up from 38. Now it's at 42, showing more people are really pouring their money into this risk on trying to make a quick buck, if you will. Now we've got volatility index dropping, and we're going to see, I think, oil come under pressure as we're watching the turmoil in the Middle East is kind of cooling off a bit. Now, with this, would also like to speak about more risk on assets, that is cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is holding above the 105,000 level for now. We've got Ethereum and Solana are both moving inversely. Now, we've got a little bit of a story here. This is because the leadership, if you will, with Ethereum is having a bit of shakeup and a little bit of turmoil in the background that's being very quiet at the moment. And Solana is one of the main ones that has the ability to replace, if you will, Ethereum as the function of what it is. So watching Solana with a little bit of a boost. I don't think Ethereum is going away. However, there are some headwinds that are coming into that. So with this, the dollar subdued on Trump tariff uncertainty. Now, as we were speaking about, this is a little bit more weakness than it has seen in the past couple of days. The caution here is that they are hitting a little bit of support levels. So while we've got stocks in the green on open at least, we've got the futures agreeing with this and showing continued green. This could change either mid to late day or possibly into tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that 10-year yield, see if that finds support, and if it starts spiking back up, then that's going to be the issue there. So let's go forward with the calendar and earnings. Today we're getting US leading economic indicators, 10 a.m. I don't expect that to be a major mover, really. So as I said, continuing kind of green, probably for the day, not financial advice. Again, tomorrow will be possible mover, depending how the report comes out. This is jobless claims. So the Fed, for their cuts, which is becoming a larger issue here and a larger factor that they're watching, is, of course, employment. Now, with all of these new changes in the administration, we are watching a couple of things in how they're moving forward, mostly with policy. As I was speaking with someone yesterday, the Fed now has pulled out of the International Climate Policy Group. Now, the Federal Reserve is not federal, and they reserve nothing, as we've spoken about before. However, as a banking sector, we've got to watch them. They have pulled out of this climate policy, the whole DEI, a lot of that getting overturned, that's going to have some major implications moving forward. So along with this, we've got FDIC Acting Chair Hill. So this is the new FDIC, Travis Hill, issuing a statement laying out his priorities for the agency. And they are rolling back, as we were talking about before, the bank regulations. When they roll back these bank regulations, it's a boon for the banks and they love this. So he's kind of more crypto friendly, as most of the incoming administration is, and trying to move towards fintech, cryptocurrency, debanking, the whole thing. Notice, however, though, with the whole financial technology moving forward, cryptocurrency, they are not moving toward decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is outside of the banking system and really what we want to see, and not what they're talking about. So I just want to point that out. Now, we've got Norway fining Danske. Now, I know this is over in Europe, but it's still, we've got a global system now, and more than ever being tied into these, as I was saying, central ties for the banking and finances. So they've got a grave case of the bond market manipulation. When these bond markets were going absolutely nuts last week, and everybody was kind of wondering what was going on, they were all moving together. We had massive market manipulation for these bonds. They are now coming out and admitting it. This is an admission. Now, of course, the Fed will not admit this, but seeing this on the other side, it was a coordinated effort that was so overlooked and not in any of the news, really. It was very difficult to find and not very many speaking about this, but massive, massive move. Now, moving over to Europe, we've got a couple of things. Germany still struggling to exit stagnation, and this is according to Bundesbank. Now, we were talking about this also, how they do not call it a recession until hindsight. And Germany is one of the main markers of this. They've been in recession for some time, as well as the UK. Now, don't worry about this because Lagarde has your back. Now, if you listen to her, as she's saying, the European Central Bank is not behind the curve, but that they're going to cut gradually. Now, ECB's Escriva is saying that the rate cut next week is the most likely scenario. So they're still saying that they're going to cut next week, but they don't want to cause a shock, saying that they'll be cutting gradually. So don't worry, not going to put any shocks out here. So we'll see what the Fed does a little bit farther forward. They seem to be diverging, and we'll watch how that goes. Now, shining an eye over across back to Mexico, we've got Mexico's new president looking to kind of offset what is going on with all of the tariffs, and the new administration offering tax deductions, trying to spur their, what she's calling nearshoring, keep jobs there and offset this again. So I spoke yesterday about China being out of the spotlight, but no one seems to notice. It's what they don't talk about, is what we do want to pay attention to. All of the talk was about tariffs between Canada and Mexico, significantly not China. So this morning we've got a couple of these things that came out. China vowing to import more goods after avoiding early US tariffs. Now, they were not named in these tariffs for the February 1st shock. They've got massive trade imbalance and they are in recession. So this is one of those currency flows to where if they can't use it with goods, then, pardon me, if they can't do it through currency, they will do it through goods to balance this out, so to speak. So they either use the rates for their loans, the bonds, the goods, or the currency, and they are all tied in together. So we've also got a Chinese startup just showing every American tech company how quickly they're catching up with artificial intelligence. This is the scare. I was talking about this before. This is the reason why American companies threw all of the safety, all of that talk about reining in artificial intelligence out the window, and now it is a race. So, going a little bit farther into this artificial intelligence project named StarGate. Okay. New administration announcing $500 billion for artificial intelligence infrastructure venture. StarGate project will be led by OpenAI, that's Sam Altman, also the same as ChatGPT, SoftBank, and Oracle. Larry Ellison behind these are the tech titans. So Microsoft and NVIDIA will be key initial technology partners. All of these stocks set to boom this morning because of this. Now, not coincidentally, I was speaking about Nancy Pelosi trades yesterday. She opened long calls in all of these companies just as last week. And the filings just recently came out. So do you think she knew about this ahead of time? The jury is out on this. So with this coming out, Elon Musk is saying that this project doesn't actually have the money after it was announced. And what he's saying is that they barely have 10 billion of the 500 billion. Now, this has not stopped them in the past. All this means is that there is going to have to be more printing in order to support this. And I believe that it will go through. Now, the more frightening thing about this that I would like to bring up is that how this works and what this is kind of structured towards. Now, most of this is speaking about the infrastructure and the building of artificial intelligence, data centers, and the like. But during the briefing, I would like to bring this out. Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison highlighting this project healthcare application, including artificial intelligence-driven system capable of delivering personalized cancer vaccines within 48 hours. Hopefully this video doesn't get stricken for that. Now, I want to stick on this for a moment and we'll speak about this tonight. How they deliver these personalized is through the mRNA, which means a mirror image of your DNA. This is about as significant as it gets. I can't stress that enough. To allow them to have your DNA that they can mirror copy within 48 hours is a huge issue going forward. Not that I'm against technology or biotech, but just that these have some very serious implications. So, putting that aside for the moment, Bank of America CEO says banks are eager to enter cryptocurrency if regulators allow. Again, rolling back these bank regulations, going to open this up. What does this mean? Boom for cryptocurrencies. So going up. Okay, back to cryptocurrencies. Vitalik Buterin, he is the main one. I was saying there is this shake-up. He's claiming sole authority over the Ethereum Foundation leadership. So this is the fight that is going on in the background. You can have an opinion either way. There's different things about this. I don't personally care for the guy. I don't like the history of how things have gone. However, that is what's going on in the background. If you care to look that up, if it's important to you. And I just want to mention also Ross is now free, pardoned by the president, hasn't been let out physically yet, I don't believe, but has been issued his pardon. So hopefully we'll be seeing him out soon. He was given life, which is a little odd. But with this, I would just like to wish you a wonderful trading day, green day in general. Hope to see you later in Discord. And if you need that link, let me know. So until I see you again, my friends, stay free.